Welcome to another kingscrusher Blitz Banter, and I know I'm the invisible man at the moment. I'll just sort that out one moment. Sorry about that. Hi there on stream, so streaming. Hi watchers, and my preview should be updated shortly, I hope. I hope you're all having a good time. And where's my preview starting? Okay, so I cannot see, unfortunately I can't see my preview. I don't know what's happened here. Can you see a board? I can see a board now. Okay, I'm really sure that I can see a board. Hi there. Okay, the first challenge, chess 64. Hi there, 4-1 increment game. Okay, play knight f3. Oh no, I'm not having this boring line. I'm having this boring line instead. This is an old stodge line. Oh blimey. Okay. Yep. Okay, quick d5, huh? Is that quite dangerous for me? I have a double pawns here. I'll play knight g5 here because there's queen h5 without this defensive knight. I think this is quite kind of justified. Reminds me of one of Piers Vidler's recent games. There's queen h5 hitting f7 and h7 here. That's the immediate threat. I know it's very direct, but I think it's justified in this particular position because there's no defensive knight on f6. If I can hop to e4 and also play queen h5. Okay, there's knight e4 here, and then maybe queen h5 after, with ideas of bishop takes h6. Okay, so queen h5, very comfortable parking there, spot. So I'm wondering bishop takes h6. There's queen g6, queen h6. I could take it from there. Maybe I can swing in a rook first, get a rook ready. Maybe rook e1, rook e3 after. So maybe after the sack, check, check, and rook e3 if you can imagine that. Rook e3 there. Ah! He's spoiling my plans. My evil plans are being spoiled. That's the way it is. See, will he take that bishop on b3? He might weaken f5. It doesn't. Yeah, bishop e6 is an interesting defensive move. I'm not entirely certain about. Okay, but maybe plays for f5 before knight g3 happens. For knight f5. All right, I'll go here. I hope my queen doesn't get trapped. f4, knight e4. Rook e1, f4. Try and blast down the e file. Okay, so is that really on the cards? Rook e1, f4. Maybe f4. Put some pressure down the e file. No, bishop a6 maybe should have been considered. Check, check, check. Knight h5. Yeah, that looks a bit dangerous. Anyone by knight will park here. I think he's got rook f5, I suppose. Maybe there's queen h3, pinning. Might be safer than g4. I like the knight on e4 here. Can I risk playing f3? Or let's play this. Maybe f3, g3, or g4. Maybe I should play f3 myself. This f3 could be dangerous. Alright, if I play f3 here, what is he going to hit? He's going to try and trap my queen? With rook h5, maybe. g6, rook h5. Yeah, rook h5 is coming. Oh, now that's scary. Queen g4 in that position. Queen g4, mate, losing the queen, rook h4. I played g4 as a pawn sack. Takes king g2. Maybe I play this as a pawn sack because I'm a bit worried about this position. In general, I think losing a pawn is a lesser evil thing to do here because I've got that big knight on e4. Get things off. b4, b5. c4 he just takes on b4. I like the knight on e4. Yes, I'm a pawn down now. Can I put some pressure here? If there's no b5 immediately, maybe c4, b5, that weakens a few squares. There's b5 immediately for rook a8. Or c4, knight e6 to d4. Just hold these squares here for a moment. I think I'll blast through the A file. Try and play dynamic move here. So the check. Rook a7 maybe.
Check.
Try and get some pawns back. He's got knight f4. I think I'll take. If he takes to the pawn, I could blockade on f3. So it's a 1 second increment. I wonder, can I put some time pressure on him here? Taking. There's no discovered check there. Oh, it's protected. It's protected. I'm just giving up pawns for nothing. Could be.
Check.
Maybe I get a blockade here. Right, so the bishop's not going to evict the king. This is going to be tricky though. Okay. Put some pressure. Or not. Right. d4, d5, or throw the check in.
Check.
Where's the king going? No forcing moves of interest. Rook e6. I still like the knight on e4, but I'm 2 pawns down. It's like a technical issue. 2 pawns down. That bishop's kind of looking. I don't know. Do I want to take that? I'll just play c4 because I'm undoubling the pawns. If I took, I'm undoubling his pawns. Okay.
Check.
There's rook c6 or knight f6 at some point. Handy. I don't know. Rook e8, rook d8, d4. Blunt the bishop first. If I blunt the bishop first with d4, then that knight would be handier. He's giving the pawn, thankfully. I think that's a mistake. Needed that bit of help. I'll take on f4. There's a check here. I'll keep the knight here. So his pawns are fragmented after that. Okay. Is he breaking my pawn chain? I didn't see that move. He's breaking up my pawn chain and holding f4. I have to take.
Check.
This could get nasty. I'll take
Check.
here though. Oh, this is
Check.
officially very nasty. Okay, check
Check.
here.
Check. Check.
Knight holds d2 for a moment.
Check.
Is the knight g5?
Check. Check.
Am I going anywhere with this? Right. I have the flexibility for rook a8 for rook a1. He's cut my king.
Check. Check.
Looks as though I might
Check.
be able to force a draw here. Well, that looks a bit desperate for him to do that. Knight g5 to f3. If I go to f3, I'll just take this. There's rook g3. I'll do this for a moment. Okay. King f4. How's this king getting out of here? Not like that.
Check.
Can I get this pawn?
Check.
Yes. He's winning a piece. He's just won a piece.
Check. Time
What's
warning.
about that? He could have just taken the knight.
Check.
Go over here.
Check.
Oh, he's blundered. It's cracked. It's quite a very competitive game with the increment. That's serious stuff. Thanks for the game, Chess64. Very serious stuff with the increment. Okay, X-Banner. 1519. Are you ready, X-Banner? Oh, we're going to... Oh, there was loads of other challenges. I've just lost all my challenge list. Oh well. Are you ready? 5-minute game. Okay. Have we lost connection? What's happening here? Oh, this clock's going. There seems to be a lag. I don't know if it's my end. No, I'm connected okay. There's a bit of a lag on this clock. So if he takes on f3, I'll take. If he plays queen takes, there's a check, winning the queen. That's the point of this line with bishop e2. That bishop takes, queen takes, there's bishop takes, check. Now I thought e6 to pin the knight. It's giving me a tempo here. There's no pin, so it's giving me a full tempo to attack his queen. Not sure how critical that is, but it seems desirable to have that tempo. Okay, maybe rook c1. I can use this square as an outpost, knight a4 to c5. Maybe even d5 could be contemplated. I could make my pawn not so isolated. I wonder this position. Do I just want to take a knight e5? Maybe. His king's still in the center. Will he take here? He's not going to take that, surely. Because bishop d4, f6, f4. Now if he moves the bishop, Bishop c5. Okay, there. Maybe there's f4, f5, or bishop d4 blockade. Blockade. Idea f4, f5, f6. I suppose you can blockade on f5 with queen f5. f4, yeah, might blockade. Oh, he's not doing that. Okay, am I going to get f5? I think his idea is bishop c5 actually. No, he can't. I can take that. And my rook's on it. But he's probably building up for bishop c5. Is it worth preventing that? We'll just play f5. No, I'm just going to play f5. I'm going to allow this because e6 is coming here, surely. Although taking, you can win a pawn there. Whether there's check. Yeah, with his king sits in the centre, he doesn't want to like win a pawn like this, surely. Okay, I can take here, and e6 looks good. I take with the rook. I still play e6. There's opening up this diagonal to a check. There's g6. I take here, that's a check. Is it worth playing that? Queen e5. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Check.
For queen e5. Then there's things like I'm hitting the rook, can't castle. I've got rook f7 as well as queen b8. In fact, rook takes. I think there's queen b8. There's queen d8 there. Okay, rook takes. I'll take with the rook. Or maybe I take this check. Okay, he has to move the rook first. Isn't there check here? And if queen d8, rook f8.
Check.
This pawn is holding key squares. So queen d8, rook f8. Yeah, thanks for the game, Expeller. Goran. Okay, let's try a French defense. Okay, I'll play c5. And I'm going to play this. Irva's waiting move, bishop d7. High class waiting move, as they sometimes say. Now I'm prepared for g4, knight h4. Okay, I'll play like this at first. Try and suppress pawns over here, and maybe even over here against b4. Try and keep some tension. Just get a rating profile. 5 minute 2-1-3-1 on the auto pairing, quite a dangerous opponent. With that sort of rating, yep, okay. So queen b6, maybe coming up all this g file. I'm holding h4 at the moment. I wonder, queen b6, is it actually worth it? I'll just play rook g8. See what he does. See what he does. It's put classic pressure points and fix the b pawn here. Maybe knight a5 to b3 is worth doing just for that knight to be mildly annoying. In fact, can I take here and then knight a5? He's blowing up the centre. Is he going to take for d5 or something? I'll take here and then knight a5. No, he's definitely blowing the centre. Okay, I'll go here. Now d6 looks unpleasant. I'm going to take here for bishop b5, rook e1. Anything better? Maybe rook g8 here. See what he does for a moment. I'm not sure d6 is that devastating. Maybe bishop c5. Well, that bishop's kind of outside the pawn chain. Against d6, it might be handy to hold d4 a bit tighter. This diagonal's interesting. My king in the centre. Maybe takes bishop e6. Bishop c6, though I'm on g2. Maybe that's a way of just yeah, getting to g2. I'm going to get to g2, maybe queen c6, I'm on g2. If he moves bishop f3, maybe rook d8. Right, rook d8 here. Is he going to have... we're going to have the queens off?
Check.
Alright. He's going to build up pressure on c6. What about rook d5? Just to hold c5, because this rook c1's annoying. I want a bishop e7 if I get a chance for bishop e7. Not c5 because he'll take the rook. It's on my king side here. Alright, is there what to do? e6 is threatened. Bring the queen back. Looks very scary, and also f5 is threatened. That'll stop e6 because that won't. Alright, I have to try and set up a blockade with queen e7, queen e6, dropping f5 doesn't look good. Queen d7 there. Blimey, is up for more. Can I get the pieces off? Nope. Right, is that with blood? Alright, can I play bishop somewhere? For c5 or not? I get blasted here. I get to play c5. I'm dropping a4. This is getting very nasty very quickly. There's queen c6 threatened for g2 and a4, but I've got to worry about e6 as well. But queen c6 currently is my one threat. I mean, there's rook g2 as well for queen c6. Maybe rook g6 here just to hold that threat alive. The check, there's no bishop g5 after. So I wonder, I'm still threatening queen c6, hitting a4 and g2 here. And this check, king e7, I'm hoping that's okay. Oh, well, that's my only move there. It's holding up that. I'll play this anyway. Maybe queen e4 there. Hang on. Queen e4. So he defends. Oh, he defends. Stops that in any case. Okay, that's scary. Don't know. Don't know. Blockade? Don't know. This is not looking good. I don't suppose c4 does anything. Rook e7, h5. f6 hits the queen, loses g6. Pretty stuffed here. Seems pretty stuffed. No major threats. No threats whatsoever. Queen here for queen h4 looks pretty desperate. Oh, maybe it's the only. I'm going to play bishop g5, I guess. There's queen h4 there. It's the only thing I can find, actually. No, he just takes the rook. Okay. Well, actually, I've given the rook this way. Anyway. The rook's been given the third rank, otherwise h5 was winning the rook. There's queen e5 here, then there's queen check. We'll take on g5, queen e5. Well, I think that's the only thing to do, really.
Check.
He gets the queens off.
Check.
I'll stop the pawns being connected. F4 would be undesirable. I'll stop leaning in. Okay. Try and get this pawn with my king. Oh, that's not happening. Things are getting worse. Can I try and get e5? For f4 drops. 27 seconds. Maybe I've got king g6 here for rook g5. If, it's got to be careful about bishop d6 on a5. So it's a trap, a5 trap. He's not going to fall into it, is he? He's not falling into any a5 trap. No a5 trap.
Time warning.
My king over here. I'm pretty stuck. I'm stuffed. Yeah, it's pretty stuffed.
Check.
Is there a stalemate possibility? I doubt it. Okay. Alright. Okay, Rocky Top. Okay, let's play Rocky Top. A6 and the E4 or something. Also here. Bishop h5 and looks like a reasonably solid position for a moment. Alright, so g4, bishop g6. Knight e3 takes, there's knight d5. It's weakening my d5, I guess. Knight e3 coming up, knight d5. Is there like knight e7, so takes, knight e3, knight e7. Okay, so knight e3, knight e7. Otherwise, this is quite a large knight. What else is going on in this position? I think this is the main plan, right? So I'll try and parry this. Maybe c6 and rook d8. Is there a chance of putting pressure on e4 here? Bishop g6. Okay, I'll seal this square for a bit. Okay, maybe there's bishop d4 before this gets trapped. With c5. I've had some pressure down this e-file. Well, you can't take anyway. I'll stop that pre-move. You can't take. I've got the pin. Okay, so rook e8. Just to make sure when he unpins, I've got this e-file. Rook d8. Okay, here I'm on e4. Okay, this e4 pressure. I'm winning a pawn here. Takes. There's takes. There's rook f3. Then that's the snag. But takes. Rook f3. I don't think it matters. Because I think there's just queen e6 there, and if takes, I'll take the queen. Yeah, I think there's just queen e6 here, and if rook f5, queen f5. So I think I've snagged a pawn with this centre going. Now if he moves that pawn, I think there's d3. So rook f5, queen f5. I think okay. Rook f4, g5. So then I'd be winning that pawn if I played g5. Rook f3, bishop e4. Right, can I not win the pawn here? I think rook e1 is probably dangerous for me, but I'm wondering d3, queen c4. Okay, bishop e4, rook e1. Is it then just bishop f5? I'll just play bishop f5. So if rook e1's failing to bishop f5, it's 2 pawns. I've also got d3 on the cards. Maybe for queen c4. There's queen c4 and queen h6. Well, just bishop g6 just to unpin. I lose d4. Queen d6. Well, queen d6 looks sensible. Holds d4 and h6. So there's c5. What about just queen f6? There's no c5. I think queen f6. I'll take this bishop on g2. Yes, this looks 2 pawns up at the moment. Not sure where the dangers are now necessarily. Oh, the g-file, hang on, the g-file is a point. Okay, I'll take on g2 anyway. Just, okay, the g-file. I can throw this check in. Rook e4 to g5. King h7 for g6 I think would be sufficient actually for the g-file pressure for the moment, just in case. Okay, rook e6 just in case. Let's double. Support this pawn. Okay, I'm going to have a pin here. You can go for rook g5, rook h5. Take some time to do that though. He hasn't got any time. I can play rook e5 as well, just to parry.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Okay, thanks for the game, Rocky Top. There's Metanov. Let's see how we go. There's Metanov 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a 5-minute game with no increment, I assume. Right, so bishop c5. Right, so knight c6, queen f6. I think it's the book move. And then take care to open up the bishop. So, okay, so here, yeah, see here. Oh, I don't think that's familiar, because this seems to be giving me some developments free of charge. Hitting e4, so if he plays f3, I wonder bishop e6. Oh, he's giving me e4. Okay. Block the e-file. Rook e1, bishop f2. If bishop f3 is blunted, or any, maybe just knight d6. I'll just take that then, castle queen side. What am I going to do here? Looking at a2. I can afford to play this. Yeah, I think I'd stretch out here for rook d2 and put some pressure with h5, h4. Rook e1. Well, maybe bishop d5. Or bishop d7 to avoid bishop f5 check. Put a squeeze on g4. Takes. Well, maybe h3. There's a lot of pressure building up here. Not really going to squish his own bishop, is he? With g3. Block his own bishop. I could also take it on f2 there. I can still take on f2 once the g-pawn moves. This looks very interesting. I mean, check is dangerous because the king moves rook g8. If bishop g3, rook g3.
Check. Check. Check.
There's rook g2.
Check.
Okay, so it's just mating.
Check.
King g1. Rook g2. Double check.
Check.
Check. Okay, thanks for the game, that's myself. Now, Chan. 1542. Hi there. Let's try maybe Scotch. Maybe just a Roy Lopez. I'll try Roy Lopez. I think I'll try an exchange variation. I once played this line against Peter Lodge and lost. He was a strong IM, but I did try. I had an idea behind this line ages ago, which is basically you can put a lot of pressure on e5 if you can. So b3, bishop b2, knight d2, knight c4, and then maybe swing knight to f5 later and play d4 at some point. Of course, black gets a lot of moves in as well. But this is an interesting positional plan. I think different from normal Roy Lopez, just using this exchange on c6 to weaken e5 a bit. So bishop b2, knight d2, knight c4, knight e3, and then maybe then c3 and d4 later. At the moment, yeah, it does seem very solid, black, but if there's a knight coming to c4, encourages knight d7, have knight e3, maybe going to f5 later. You can imagine if a knight's on f5, that then actually I should have considered taking here. Hold on. Why can I take there? It's a centre pawn. If his idea is bishop takes, do I care? I take. It's a centre pawn. I'm taking it. If his idea is bishop g4, maybe I have bishop f6 in that position. Takes, takes, bishop g4, hitting, I think I've got bishop f6. If his idea is, oh, okay, his idea is to leave that, okay. I'll just put this back, or play f4. Maybe just f4. Actually, yeah, looks like a bit of fun here. Maybe queen e1, queen g3. I'm on this diagonal, this g7 could be a target. Queen e1 to g3. Oh, okay. Looks as though, well, I'll keep this diagonal open, I think, just in case. I might want to play, after the bishop retreats, f5. Oh, is it on e3 here? Okay. Okay, I'll maintain the pawn, I think. If he's taking, maybe there's queen g3 after. It's not what I had in mind, particularly. f6, maybe I play queen g3. In that position, I'll be happy with f takes. Oh, this one. Well, this one I'm on the rook, so he can't play. Plays bishop takes. This is a check. He's not really intending this, is he? Bishop f5. There's a check there. Alright, I'll hold this for a moment. I'm on the rook. e6, bishop e6. It's a check, bishop e6. It's not doing much. Like queen g3, knight f3. I could throw in the check here. On bishop f7 there's e6.
Check.
Maybe e6 anyway. If rook d8, rook f8. And if queen f8 there's e7. So I take here. Takes with the rook. Maybe there's queen d7. Queen f6. Knight f3.
Check.
So I played this. Queen a6, knight f3, I think. Holds d4 as well. Well, I'm holding d4. So he's threatening to take. Where is he? That pawn's queening after. Take a knight f3. There's bishop f5 surrounding the pawn. What if I played queen c6 here? Trying to keep some pressure. Still bishop f5, knight f3, bishop e6. Oh, there's knight g5 in that position. As if queen takes, there's queen e8. That might be sufficient to hold the pawn. Bishop f5, knight f3, bishop e6, knight g5. So if queen takes, there's queen takes e8. You could try bishop f7, the same sort of thing, knight f3, bishop e6, knight g5. It looks like a solid pawn at the moment. Knight f3, okay. So bishop e6, knight g5. That means if queen takes, there's queen takes rook. I'm threatening e takes now because the knight's protecting the rook. So this is now threatened, e takes. Okay. My queen's holding that for the moment. Can I just play this, or rook e5 to f5? Actually, rook e5. Let's go to f5 on the back row. So I'm hitting the bishop. There's rook f5 here. Takes. It's got back row issue. h6, queen f7, queen d6, e7. Check, king f1 maybe. I think rook f5, if rook e8. Rook f7, if queen e8, rook f8. Takes, he's got queen g8. I'll play this anyway. I think that's better than what I've said. On rook e8, forget rook f7. If there is really queen e6, rook f8, takes, queen g8. What about queen e4 instead? Also, there's always rook f8 for a deflection to win the queen. So here, queen e5, queen e6, there's rook f8. If he takes, there's queen e6. If he doesn't, as rook takes e8, protecting the queen. I'm threatening rook f7. That looks annoying. Crikey. Right, I don't want to get too far down on the clock. Doesn't look as though I've got an easy move there. A bit of time pressure now. Lost my key pawn. Bit of a disaster. You can even exchange off rooks. Am I okay in that ending?
Check.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hoping this ending's okay. The king's over here. Fix these pawns. Try and get a Zugzwang.
Time warning.
I'm going to try and win this A pawn. Put my king back over here.
Check. 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 Check.
Ooh, tough one. Okay, thanks for the game. J. Russell 2. I haven't played him really. Just check my history. Nope, I don't think so. Bit close. Is J. Russell 2 ready? Give him another 30 seconds, I think. He's here. Yeah, I managed to lose that key pawn. Let's not harp on about it though. I better get back into this position. Let's forget it. I didn't expect to lose that key pawn there. After all of that work to try and make sure I wasn't losing the key pawn, all the variations, I ended up losing the pawn anyway. Oh well. It's cruelty of chess. I'm going to spice things up here. I'm tempted to with h6, g5, g4. I've seen this aggressive idea before. White's committed to castling. I have to try and refute this nonsense. g5, g4. So g5, g4 plan. Okay. Meanwhile, the queenside attack. Maybe knight e7 to g6. Makes it look more official. This attack, it's official. I'm trying to open up the G file. Yes, crude intentions. It spices the game up a bit, I find. So rook g8. Queen f6. There seems to be a lot of pressure. I'll protect f7. And also hit f3. So rook g8. Can imagine queen f3 takes. Knight f2. Check. King h2. And it needs the other rook, I think. Let's try and get the other rook ready. If I castle bishop f7, if I castle into it, b5, there's knight a5 on b5. Let's see, h5, h4, h3 could be a plan. Okay, I'll take this guy out. This guy out. c4. Bishop. Actually, if I take this bishop, f2 winning the queen there. Okay, he's on here. He's on here. And that's annoying. I think there's bishop b5. Queen b5. No, a5, bishop b5. Hold on. a5, bishop b5. There's no queen b5. Okay, a5, bishop b5, or ab even. No, maybe not ab, because then rook a8 check. I mean, a takes check. Wins the other rook. No, he doesn't win the other rook. But anyway, simply a5. There's bishop b5. I don't have to play a takes. Okay. Now I can try and stop a5 because he win the c7 pawn. Try and stop that, or not? Probably try and stop it with rook a5. I don't want to lose c7 here necessarily. Quite quick on his queenside play, giving up that light squared bishop. If I play something like king e7, well, e5's under. Let's try and start bringing things up here. a5, rook a5, takes knight e5, knight e5, queen a5, that seems fine. Queen f4, h5, h4, h3, yeah, maybe that's a plan here. Try and put some more pressure to bear on the king side. h4, h3, if g3, I think there's all sorts of goodies heading my way after g3. Not sure what, actually, h2, no, h2, king g2, at least, that looks really dangerous. So I think just h4, h3 looks really dangerous here. He's not really smashed through my queen side just yet. a5, I think I just take with the rook. Yeah, I think I'm taking with the knight, hitting the queen. Actually takes queen f2 is mating, isn't it? Queen f2, queen g2. If knight takes, queen takes f2. Okay, I can go back for knight g4 here. On f2. He hasn't parried that.
Check.
Oh, he's on my queen. I think that's the point. I didn't notice. His bishop's hanging. That's why he's going to do that. Alright, I'll take his bishop. Yes, I was too concerned with his clock just then. Didn't realise what he was up to. So there's a check for that f2. Alright, thanks for the game, Jack Russell. Any ECF in school? I got a challenge from an unrated. Okay, a 3198. Just for fun. All right, now you can't say that I chicken out challenges. Now I could exploit that. by ignoring it, not reading it out. But he's, I don't know, what has he done? He aborted. Okay. Okay. Bracket CM. Is this a CM? Okay. Corresponds endgame CMs in his profile. It's my turn. Yes, I'm white. Yes. I'm waiting for this pawn sack to happen. What do you take to unleash my pieces? I don't necessarily want to take back in a hurry. Go on. You know what? You want to take it, don't you? You want to take it. Maybe it's really good if he takes it. Queen e2, d3. Okay, here we go. I think this is in mayhem and Mora, this sort of position. Although I'm not entirely convinced. It might be. Or it might be just a bad position. But one sec. Bishop g4, before I condemn it, there's bishop takes f7, knight g5, winning the bishop on g4. So although that looks mega attractive, bishop g4 for knight d4, I think it fouls to bishop f7. Now, I think Esserman might have documented this game, this position in Mayhem in the Mora. It looks as though I'm getting... I'll just blunder the bishop. You can just take that. Yeah, I know. I just blundered the bishop. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, on the bright side, it's a Blitz game, not a 5-hour game on the bright side. So it's only going to last another few minutes, this game. Let's see what happens. I'm just giving him a piece odds game, just to add a bit more challenge to this. Obviously, it wasn't challenge enough, so I'm just giving him a full piece odds. Yeah. Okay, I'm generous. It's it's approaching Christmas. Generosity, Christmas presents in the form of chess pieces given to opponents. Yeah. Okay. that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Okay, so e4. Maybe I'll take the pawn. I've got some pressure on f7 and b7. Maybe I can get a pawn here. If I can get a pawn here, okay, I'll get a pawn here. When you can always take on b2. It's pretty silly to blunder a piece like that, really, isn't it? Okay, knight d4, queen d3. It's horrible. Yes, don't like being pieced down generally. Might have been too generous here. It was the CM title. When I saw the CM title, I started panicking. It's one of the most feared titles in chess, the CM title. Oh dear. Oh dear. He's got rook d2 here, winning more material, hasn't he? Is there queen takes? No, mine's queen. Rook d2 might be tempting, but I think queen takes d2. Okay, so g4 looks desperate. Maybe a good move in the position to break the pin. Maybe. On the other hand, it does weaken my king side. I have broken the pin, though. That looks like a certain thing achieved. Is that knight f6 to try and win the queen at some point? g5, knight f6 to try and win the queen. There's a little cheapo trap. So he's got rook d4. If I tried to trap here, g5, I wonder if he'd spot it. Knight takes, knight f6, trying to win the queen. Cheapo! Cheapo time. Knight takes actually unprotects the queen. Ah, and he's just going to mate me instead. That's unfortunate. Yes. Yes. That's not too hot. Yes. I'm a full rook down or something. I'll give it up, I think. It was too much to give the piece. Okay, a4, h5. Bishop f4, terrible. I was getting a tempo on the queen. This is a 3-minute game anyway.
Check.
Right, this here. Okay, if I take and then, or bishop d6, bishop d6, bishop d6. Do I want to play bishop d6? Maybe I just want to take. Maybe a4. Hope for the best. Knight d4, maybe d6. You'll take here, win this pawn. Unfortunately, knight f5 looks. Right, it's only a 3-minute game. Let's play this. Knight f5, queen e6. Deal with it in that position. d6 here. Stop knight f5. Okay. And what's going on here? Rook e8, knight g6. The knight e4 here. I've got f5 if he... What? If he pins it... Well, it's not even a pin, actually. I can move this. Maybe just f5 will do. f5. And rook e8. Okay, maybe d5 coming up. Which will give more reinforcement for that knight. So d5 and then maybe c5, d4. Okay, this is I can just take it still. Although queen takes, queen f7. I can, maybe I should, in fact. It's possible. can get the E file with tempo. That's a concern. But other than that, here, is it devastating? If I get to play bishop d7, is it devastating? Bishop d7, rook e8. I'll stop knight g5 just for fun. I want to play. This d6 is weak. Yes, I can hit c4 here and protect e7 with my knight. So queen d6, bishop c4. Knight e5, I'll worry about that at the moment. Might play it. If takes, oh, okay, there's a blockade. Can I play queen d5 here? Or I lose the knight. Rook e8, just challenge this rook. What about this for a moment? Before rook e7 happens. So h5 I'll take and then sort out my knight. If he takes h5, well, there's queen e3 check. Okay, there's b5 here if I want to just hold that for a moment. I'll drop c6 though. Okay. Protect c6. Alright, try and get the queens off. Doesn't look that clever, this position. So I'm dropping c6. It's going to be a time war here. I'll just drop the queen. Oh, like a muppet. What's happened to me? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just dropping pieces. Oh, I looked up for a moment. I don't know what's happened there. I just had a breakdown again. I just having breakdowns. And I had a bit of rest before this session, honest. Oh, I'm just having breakdowns. I really am. Oh dear. Oh, meltdowns, breakdowns. Okay. It was under pressure, I suppose. Let's try the 5-minute auto pairing. Might be easier. Oh dear, I went too hot here. I'm too hot. Okay. Yeah, let's make it easier on IM 2291. I'm just having breakdowns. Okay. I need water or something. I was trying to drink water in desperation. Temperature control. Try and hold the c5 square. Yep, I haven't even got my cup with me tonight. So, okay. I haven't blundered the queen yet, that's good. Although I'm getting close. Put this bishop on e3 if I can. I'm ready to exchange off the last bishop. Looks like a good position. Now get rid of my bad bishop. Knight f6, rook f7 to g7. That's my basic plan. Actually, he just played knight b6 almost. It's getting a bit dangerous. G4, knight d6, G3 looks dangerous though. I get to play G3 here. H4. H4. I'm actually trying to lower my head temperature. I'm thinking I'm a bit hot, a bit too hot, and I should have. I think it doesn't help. Blunder in the heat, in the mental state of being too hot. Okay, but anyway, at the moment, yeah, d6. I don't think it's a total disaster. Takes, and knight h5 for queen h4 check. Otherwise, I think I'm breaking through with g3. I could be imagining this, but it looks as though g3 is dangerous. Maybe there's takes at minimum. Then knight h4 after. I'll take here. But isn't that h3 and g2? If I take with the f pawn, then there's knight h5 and h3. So knight d6, knight h5 and h3. The water's having some benefit. I'll keep drinking it. Sorry about this. Right, I'll play for. I believe h3 looks promising. Now I could be imagining this. I'm hoping it's not a mirage. Isn't h3? And the rook moves g2, and then it looks kind of dangerous. I'm hoping it's dangerous. Please let it be dangerous. Please let me at least increase my 5-minute auto pairing rating whilst trashing my other ratings. h3 and g2 check. Okay. Alright, so queen g7 facilitates. I was going to play queen d5 check to win the knight. Okay, I've got to hold the knight. What about with queen f7? He's got knight e5. Queen g5 might be better. If f4, knight f4. If queen e5 I take, and then knight f4, I think I'll go with this. So h3 is still on the way, I hope. h3, g2. So queen e5, I'll take knight f4 or h3. Yeah, I think this looks dangerous. I'm going to play rook d8 without getting mashed. Right, what's the threat? What's the threat? I can play h3 here. He's not holding against h3. Is he? I've got g2 after that. Maybe rook f4 for queen g3 mating. g2. King h2. Rook f4. And I've got queen d5 there. Still, it looks so tempting, that position.
Check.
This position here. Okay, he plays queen check, which is about the only thing, but he drops his d7. On the other hand, I don't want him winning h3. Let's hold this h3 for a moment. On the other hand, he can hold d7 here. This is getting a little bit awkward. Can I get this knight into play? knight takes. Oh, he's going to sack that, right. Take my rook out, knight f4. Goes king e7. I need to sack this rook. I need to sack the rook. This is getting a bit awkward to say the least. Let's go over here. Oh my god. He's got loads of pawns. Can I do anything about all these pawns being thrown at me? I'm losing over there. I've lost the thread of the position. It's happened. He's only got 14 seconds. Down for a little bit.
Check. Check.
Oh, now I'm losing that knight. Ugh! To rook d7.
Check. Check. Check.
Draw.
Check.
I'm going to be horrible. I need the rating points.
Check. Check.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I've lost too many today. I'm going to whatever means possible. I'm sorry. Oh dear. I know. I'm bad. I know. I'm a villain. Okay. I was winning that. I'm sure I was winning that. When we did a detailed post-mortem on that game, I'm pretty sure I had a good attack there. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm confident of it. That the engine at some point in that game would have said black was better. Yeah. Before I lost all my pieces one by one. It's just... I don't know, this is just like, I don't know. I think the central heating is on too high tonight. I've got this funny feeling something's gone wrong tonight to my brain. It could be to do with heat. Okay. Is there rook e1, or am I imagining this? Is there rook e1 here to try and win this queen?
Check.
Okay. There's still rook e1 on the cards, yeah? d5 looks good. This looks fun to win all this material. Takes, let's check, knight e3. Am I worried? Nope. Maybe. No. I think I'll do that as well. Let's gobble everything in sight.
Check.
It's a centre pawn. If I get the queens off, we'll win at h7.
Check.
I think it's dangerous, isn't it? Knight g4. I'll take this. Okay, I've got a few pieces here. Okay, thanks, Cat Red. Alright, let's try another 5-minute auto pairing. I've had more luck on the auto pairing tonight than the challenges. So yeah, I have some breakdowns on the challenges. I think it's the high ratings that keep me awake when on the auto pairing at the moment. Let's play this. I've had some success with this early A3 idea. I've got two strategies to keep myself awake: fear and drinking straight water here, not vodka, water. Right, I want to sack that pawn maybe. Or, I mean, queen e2 for a moment, knight b3, rook b1. Sack it eventually. Rook b1's not devastating, right? Is he really going into that pin? Maybe he is. So if I play bishop f2, Alright, so castles knight f4 to h5. I'm lurking around his king here. Maybe there's stuff going on. Knight h5. Okay, there's g3 for h4 to kick the queen out a bit. h4, queen h6, king g2, g4, g5. If the queen was on h6, I think I've got g4, g5. On knight b3, alright, I'll play this plan: king g2, g4, g5. Alright, can I not go back? I think g6 is knight f6. I got something like. Take that. Got to be wary about my centre falling apart. What does that? Queen e3 to g5 doesn't do anything. Bishop e3 to g5 maybe. Gives me knight f6 to think about. Right, he plays there. Right, it's just kind of weakening his position, isn't it? Queen g4. Rook e6. Bishop g7 after. Alright, so the check. That's queen, rook e6. Queen e6, bishop g7. Alright, rook e6, bishop g7, king g8. No, rook e6 doesn't work, does it? Bishop g7, king g8. Is f5 better? Holds d4. Rook e6. Let's have a look at this again. Bishop g7, king g8. Or f5. Is f5 better? Maybe just takes and d5. Takes and d5 hits the knight. Then d takes rook e6, bishop g7. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. d5. That looks immediately dangerous. You can't really easily leave g7. Now let's say he plays rook g8. Is there rook e6? No. And queen g5 here still looks pretty good. He's got this check coming, if I'm not careful. Takes the queens off. Maybe bishop takes. And knight moves. Always got bishop f6 then. Anything better to do? Focus. Check king h2. You can't afford that. Bishop g7. Takes bishop g5. Moves the knight. Bishop f6. Takes. Moves the knight. Oh, d takes. Just d takes there. Now here, I'll take some rook e6. Takes this check. Knight f3. I think I'll just take on the rook. Queen c5. I think bishop g7. Knight e6. Rook e6. Queen e6. Bishop g7, king g8, bishop e5, or somewhere. In fact, queen g5, there's e takes. There's no queen g3 there. It moves his just e takes. No, I'm getting confused now. I don't want to calculate far too much. I need to know what he's doing here. I think rook e6, bishop g7, that's dangerous. Okay, calculate a bit, 40 seconds. Rook e6, queen g5, rook e8, queen e6, bishop g7, king here, bishop e5, king f8. It looks intuitively
Check.
very dangerous. There's bishop f6, queen h6 here.
Check. Check.
Oh, I thought I was winning there. I was having a celebration there before I've actually won it. No, it's forcing a draw at the moment. I need to find better. Oh dear. Hang on. Isn't there bishop g7?
Check.
It's bishop g7. Oh, we're going back to this other position with king g8. Is he really surviving that? There's knight f6 there. Takes. He's not surviving this. There's queen e3, king h2, queen e2, king h3. Okay. All right. What's going on here?
Check.
I can try knight f6. Yeah, rook f6, bishop f6. It's mating.
Check. Check.
It's not mating. I've only got 33 seconds. How do I break this down? Think. Queen h6, king g8. h5, h6 is one, bishop g7. There's one idea. Anything else? Springs to mind, bishop e5 to stop this e-file usage.
time.
Pawn pawn.
Check.
King f1 here.
Check.
Right, got rook d8 threatens. So he goes back. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm enjoying myself on the 5-minute auto pairing tonight. Yeah, 23.50 on the 5-minute auto pairing. This is a dangerous character. He's been up to 2516 on the 5-minute auto pairing. It's a dangerous character. Blitz is 2681. That was a dangerous character to beat. Okay, okay. No more challenges at the moment. So another auto pairing game. Let's have fun on the auto pairing tonight. Okay. Just need to keep awake during the games, I've noticed. But that was, to me, that was an exciting sort of positions to have. I'll drink a bit more for the next auto pairing game. Is anyone still awake there? Okay, I'm going to say hi all. I'm having a good time. At the moment, the last two games, better. Okay. Dino Chas, he's a dangerous character as well. Actually, had some clashes in the past. Dino Chas, play English opening. Maybe a Botvinnik system. What English opening anyway? Play this knight d5. Plant the bishop. I think this is an okay position. It avoids the double pawns, and if he ever lets me play c takes, maybe the c file's good later. I think this is an okay idea. I might have seen this before. So knight e2, castle, and okay, try and use this c file later. Can I blast through with d4 later? Is that another idea? Maybe d4 now, just to make sure it doesn't play bishop d3. Plays a check with bishop d2. Plays the b6. Alright, let's go with this. I've got knight d4 if he's not careful. Maybe I should undouble. Well, I don't like the weakness around f3 here. If he has a knight on e5, so I want to keep the knight out of e5. Maybe safer is just f4 allowing e4. That's interesting. Or just use the c files mentioned before. I don't want to weaken my own knight squares in any way. Having a knight on, lurking around on e5. Maybe just rook c1 and queen c3. Right, it's giving me a target here. Maybe queen c2 and f3. There's also knight b5 to consider. Threatening bishop e4 sometimes. Maybe queen b3. Take it slow with a4, a5 for the moment. Unless he's building an attack with this pawn, but I doubt it. a4, if I try and weaken b6. a4, a5 later. I can play that. I don't want to weaken my light squares. I'll be ready with bishop h3 with bishop e4. I'll play a4, a5, knight b5 maybe. So I don't want him having bishop h3. You can't bring a rook into the third rank just yet. So I'm wondering a4, a5, knight b5. Got some clock pressure on him as well. Building up here. Okay, he's doing that. Okay. I'll take. If I play d5 here just to stop his pawns connecting He's always got bishop e6 after. There's knight b6. Queen b3, knight d7. Maybe it's worth it. cd, knight d5, bishop e6, knight b6, bishop b3, knight d7. I get this. Is this c file? I'm first to the c file, surely. cd, knight d5, bishop e6, knight b6, bishop b3, knight d7. That's bishop e6 there, queen d4. It's got d6 weakness. Queen d4, his e4 is a bit weak as well. So cd, knight d5. No, cd, knight d5, knight d5, queen d5, bishop e6, queen d4, d5. Well, there's things there. Is a4 working here? Rook b8, a5. There's no knight d5. Knight c8. There's queen c4 maybe. He's also got c4 at any point. So for the moment, just I'm going to drop back, hitting e4. I've got to protect d5. Hammer e4 here. Stop his knight going to e5 via c4. I can always go via d7. And if he goes via d7 to e5, there's bishop e4. Right, hold d5 for a moment. Maybe knight e2, there's knight d5, there's no knight f4 shot at the moment. Okay, can I fix these guys? Maybe knight b5. He's got c4 trying to break up the pawns. Knight b5 anyway, c4. Something better. Queen e2. Queen e2. Nope. I think I want to play that anyway. Mind you, I've just dropped d5. You can just take on d5. Maybe I've got some compensation there. Maybe just queen d2 here. And, he's got bishop e6. I just dropped a pawn for nothing, basically. That looks likely. You can't move, it's sort of pinned to d6 though, at the moment. Maybe I should try and double rooks. Oh, he's going for knight d3. He's got bishop b3 as well. This is going strange, this game. I'm threatening sometimes the rook here. Maybe f4, try and break out of this kind of bind. He's going to put pressure on e3, at least I'll take away the d3 square if he's taking that. If he doesn't take, okay, opens up my pieces a bit. Maybe just queen f4, I'm hitting d5, queen f4, takes. Maybe the g pawn, because otherwise he's got d4. I'll take the g pawn on d5. Right, I'll take d5, not yet. Here. He's got d4, unfortunately. Can I take? Or is that a sort of trap? Yeah, rook to the 7th. Protect this for rook d6. Or rook d7, rook g8. Rook e6 there. This one.
Check.
Alright. We've mating that, potentially. Rook d5. Rook f5, king h4. I think king f2 straight off the bat to give me rook g1 if needed. I'll spend a minute here. Hang on a sec. This is Ori. King f2, c3. Rook g1, c2. Rook g7. Right, he's queening his pawn there. I think I have to stop this pawn queening, top priority. I'll bring the rooks back. I won't go for the attack. I'll just bring the rooks back for a moment. I'll play for e4 later. Then you've got 15 seconds. I'll play for e4 surely. Get past the f pawn. Went to my h pawn. Can't do too much else. 9 seconds. Oops. Oh. Oh dear. It's desperation time.
Check.
Oh dear. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Check.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Did I not have anything with his king? I just bailed out on the attack. Let's have a look at this position. I couldn't see anything to mate him. Let's have a quick look at this. Analysis. I should put Stockfish 8 on this machine. This looked dangerous here.
Check.
Engine has it as equal. No, Bella has got this dangerous pass pawn. So if I'm not mating him, it looks as though on Stockfish 5 here, this is bad. I'm not mating him. Any construction like Rook G3, Rook G7, Rook H3, I think is. I suspect it might be too slow. Just try this Rook G3. Oh no, that is winning with Rook G7. Hold on. He plays King H4 to stop Rook H3. Then this pawn is just queening. Yeah, it's just queening full gravitational force. Yeah, as long as he plays King H4, this is not mating. So what I did was sort of thinking it's not mating. I just brought the rooks back to try and stop Rook B1. But yeah, I think if he finds King H4, I'm dead. Because I've just wasted more time. If he finds King H4 here, I'm dead. I think that's the story of that game. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Headstrong. This is IM territory, this rating, on the auto pairing. We'll try and keep it as this modern system without transposing into a Sicilian dragon. Right. I've had this before.
Check.
This position.
Check.
In bullet chess. I played for B5 to try and win the knight. I'll try that here. Have this in bullet chess. Who is this? I am Jonathan Taylor. T-A-Y-A-R. Isn't B5 winning the knight? I've had this in bullet. B4 Queen A4. I can't see what's wrong with that immediately. Maybe there's a knight sack or something. Protect this. I've had this before. Isn't this just potentially good to win that piece? As long as I don't lose more pawns. Is that the idea? Is this actually an idea? Bishop E6 takes knight E7, Queen D6. Bishop E6 takes knight E7, Queen D6. Isn't there Queen D8 there? Takes Queen D6, Queen D8. There's no Queen C6. They could take with. Not entirely sure. Alright, have a look at this. Knight takes, Queen D6, Queen D8. There's no Queen C6. I think I'll do that. If I repel the queen, there's queen c7, and castle's kingside, I'm still a piece up. I can't see any major disaster immediately in this position. Can I not just castle? Rook d1, queen e8. I think I'll just castle. Queen e8 is possible. Try and stop this hack attack. Give back the exchange, just to relieve the position. Rook c8. Do I want to take that? Maybe I do. There's knight c6 or knight f5. Let's give back some material to relieve the situation. Getting the knight on e5 might be a good idea. I could play for b4 after that and simplify. I've got b4 and I've got knight e5 there. There's queen c8 to leave the queens on. Is it better to leave the queens on or just two pieces for the queen? You know what? I'm going for this b4 to liberate the bishop. It's all about, I want to liberate this bishop. His rooks are not brilliant here. I'm going to play b4. Minority attack, b4. Let's break the structure. Top priority. Right. It's got a nasty pin there. Is it worth playing bishop f8? There's rook c4. Okay, I'll leave that pawn there. Let me get my king to d6. I don't want to spend too long. Bishop f8, rook c4. Yeah, I've given myself this nasty pin. Let's just unpin. Hope for the best here. Two pieces against the rook. He's got that pawn. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. This one? That's e5. I think I'm messing things up. Let's not run out of time as well. Okay, let's maybe. It's got f5. There's bishop e5, I suppose. F takes. Take here. G7 is queening. Well, that's great news. Maybe. Yeah. If we just check in.
Check.
Oh, it just goes there. Trying to squish my pieces. You're squishing my pieces. I feel I've messed up from the opening, from being a piece up. I've messed up. This is not good.
Check.
Oh, 94! 94! Ah! 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 I just missed 94. Ah! Okay, a minute 16. Okay, maybe it's to be expected. A minute 16. Ouch! Ouch! 94. Ouch. Okay, I'm taking out 2 pawns here. It's not the end of the world yet. But 94 would have won that.
Check.
I'm winning another pawn. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Could be winning all his pawns.
Check.
I got past the H pawn. It's okay. Got to pass the H pawn. Can take out his C pawn next. I've got 3 connected passed pawns. Yes, he disconnects and forfeits. Even better. 2-3-7-1 on the auto pairing. 2-3-7-1. Okay. This is close to my peak rating. Historically, my peak rating on the 5-minute auto pairing, for those interested, is 2-3-8-1, I think. 2-3-8-3 in 2012. So I'm actually I'm round the corner at 2-3-7-1 at the moment. Okay, so El Topo. Sorry about the I just thought okay, I could have won his rook. But anyway, I started winning all his pawns one by one, so that was satisfying as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry your cat got scared on screen. I'm sorry for scaring your cat. Pianatia, I'm sorry. I just got over into it. I'm over into it. I seem to be asleep on the challenges tonight and awake on the auto pairing. It's good to have a balanced portfolio of game sources, so you can be disastrous at one type of game and win on the other type. A balanced portfolio of disasters and victories. Okay. Hack attack time. This might be the last game. Let's try and fit this game in. It might be the last game. Hope you've enjoyed it tonight. I've had my fair share of disasters on the challenges outside of the auto pairing, but auto pairing, yeah, I had some fun, I think. Can I get the E5 square? This is like fishing pole. He's not daring to take this fishing pole, is he? So Queen H4 to G3, if he's not daring to take that. He's got Queen E1 now. Or has he? Maybe I'd take G5 for Knight D3. We could always take on G4 later. Okay, the fishing pole has been accepted. Okay. Aha. That's a good point, really. Yes, maybe it's not entirely sound in this position. Knight E2, I've noticed Knight F3 avoids Rook F3 so much. Devastation from Rook F3 because he's not winning the F3 pawn, not winning the pawn on F3 after. So if I can get away with Knight F3 check, if there's King G2, nope, that's not happening. Is there Rook H3? Try and build some pressure here. F5 blocks F6. After take, so I've got Queen F6 for Queen H6 sneakily. I can get my Queen around the corner here. If he didn't play that, I'll take that Queen F6 anyway. So get my Queen round to H6. There's also Rook G3 to consider. Rook G3 would be good, hitting the pinning and hitting the bishop. Queen here, the check. I'm not sure it's doing too much immediately. The check here, maybe that's good actually, because there's a check there sometimes. I think taking on G3 is the top thing to do here. Okay, that's another pawn biting the dust. I think I'll take that. I don't mind the king on f8 if his idea is the check.
Check.
I don't mind my king there. I want to play like rook g3. Getting a few pawns here. Rook g3. Rook f3. Okay, I think he's crumbling. I have an idea he's crumbling in this position. I can't see how he's defending against numerous ideas. I'll take on g3.
Check.
I think rook f3 blocks
Check.
g4. Okay, now there's queen h6. I suppose there's knight g4. If knight g4, king f3, I suppose. Would he find that? Maybe there's just queen h5 there, knight g4. Okay, he's found that. Blimey. Okay, okay. Queen h5 then. Wait, I've considered this. Hang on, let's just consider this. King f3, the check. I'll go with queen h5. Just pin this guy. Let's make queen g4.
Check.
I think that's good enough. It's definitely good enough
Check.
now. Okay, I think there's time for just one very quick game on maybe the 3-minute time control, 3-minute auto pairing. Squeeze one more on the 3-minute auto pairing. Or, yeah, thank you for the game, El Topo. Or maybe a bullet game. In fact, we're getting a bit squeezed for time here. A bullet game. I wonder. This is a bullet game. Let's go with it. Why didn't I take on c4? I'm moron. I didn't take on c4.
Check.
Is bishop c3 here? Spending some time here. I think rook b3 to be annoying against rook c3. Oh.
Time.
Okay, smashes the pawns up. It's a bit slow though. Bit slow this GM. I need to beef up my bullet rating auto pairing on this site. I've got good connections now. I should be able to get some good bullet rating auto pairing. So there's a 1 minute auto pairing, which is good fun. But anyway, thanks. Yeah, this has been good fun this time, I think, overall. Okay. Right. I'll just check with my co-producer. Stop here. Thanks for coming. Please like the video. If likes are welcome on the video to get the video marketed a bit more on this video. Okay. Have a great weekend. There's some good chess events on the moment, like the London Chess Classic to check out. Have great chess, a great weekend, and if you celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas when it comes, and happy New Year. Looking ahead. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks. See you next time. Thank you.